Find a comfortable shape to lay in here. So your knees can be bent, your legs can be long, whatever feels best for you and your back. Let your arms find a happy space. Maybe if you feel a little more comfortable with your hands on your belly, they can rest on your belly. Might need to adjust your hips, adjust your feet. Let yourself find that you're flat, that you can feel your back and your shoulders and your hips resting. And then just slowly allow yourself to feel, if your knees are bent, the bottoms of your feet. If not, the bottoms of your legs. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let the legs or the feet, whatever's feeling the mat, sink down. Let yourself feel your hips, your lower back, whatever part of it's on the ground, your back. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let the hips and back sink down. Notice your arms and your shoulders. If your hands are resting on your belly, you'll feel your elbows. If not, you should have the palms turned up so you can feel the top of your arms. Take a breath in. Let the arms and back of your shoulders relax down. Feel the back of your head. Take a breath in. Let the back of your head relax down. And from here, I'm going to ask that you count your exhales. Observe your breath, and when you exhale, count it. Keep counting, and the next time you exhale, feel the whole back of your body sink down. Maybe your cheeks and your jaw get a little softer too. You can go ahead and stop counting your exhales here. I'm going to take a breath in. We're going to hold that breath at the top of the inhale. Hold. 3, 2, 1, let go. And we're going to start moving here. So if your knees are not bent, let your knees be bent. Bring your feet back to about hip distance. And hip distance is enough space for about 2 fists in between your feet. So not super wide, not super close. Comfortable stance. And we're going to bring our right knee in and then let it come down. So we're going to find a little bit of movement here. We're going to bring the knees in and release them. This isn't like we're not doing this at the speed of light. You're just bringing one knee in toward the chest, and we're not squeezing it in super tight. Just a little bit of movement. Just kind of wake up that area of the back and the legs. And I'm just kind of using my hands to kind of like, you don't even need to use your hands. If you just kind of want to march the knees, if you want to let the arms relax down, you can. It's just kind of habit to grab toward the legs. But the hands aren't doing anything. We're not holding the legs in. We're just marching. Marching the knees. Not fast. Not super slow. But definitely not fast. So yeah, the knees are just bent and coming into the chest. And now we come back to noticing our breath, making sure we're breathing while we're doing this. Take 3 more breaths while you march. And then after that last exhale, feet are going to come down. We're going to let our shoulders relax. Make sure your arms, however they're comfortable. If they're comfortable, letter T over your head. So take a second here and play with the shape of your arms. Make sure they're comfortable, however you're laying. And we're going to kind of get a little smaller in the movement and come into our feet. Take an inhale, lift your toes. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, pull your toes. If your toes don't lift and lower, that's okay. Just imagining them lift and lower so we can send signals down to our feet from our brain. Relax the body. Relax the shoulders. Relax the neck as you lift and lower your toes. Make sure you're not tensing anywhere else. You're just doing your toes. Nothing else should be tight or tensed. One more lift and lower of the toes. And then let the toes come down. We're going to take 3 slow, deep breaths here. Let your arms be comfortable. I'm going to suggest a letter T shape here for the arms, but if something else is better, you go ahead and keep doing that. We're going to bring that right knee in toward the chest, and we're going to draw circles with that right knee. And now take 3 breaths while you draw the circles. Draw them at whatever speed you like. Just make sure you take your 3 breaths. After your 3 breaths, let that leg come down. Take a breath in and out. Your feet are just a little bit closer than they were here, and we're going to let our knees drop over to the left-hand side. Inhale back to center. Drop over to the right-hand side. Inhale back to center. Let the feet come back to hip distance. Adjust. Maybe you need to lift your hips and put them back down so they come down comfortable. Take a breath in and out. And then we're going to move the left knee around. Bring that left knee in toward the chest, and let's circle that left knee around. Take 3 breaths while you draw your circles. Draw them at a comfortable speed. And the breath always slow and steady. And then let that left foot come back down to the ground. Take a breath in. Let it out. Walk your feet back a little closer together. We're going to let the knees drop over to the right-hand side. Take a breath in. Let it out. Inhale back to center. Over to the other side. Take a breath in. Let it out. Knees back up to center. Find that hip distance again. Again, maybe you lift your hips and readjust so that your low back is comfortable. Adjust your arms. Make sure the shoulders are equally distanced to the ears. Be comfortable in your shape. Take a breath here. Feel the back of the body resting on the mat. Take a slow inhale in. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Neck, shoulders, arms. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. This time we're going to take our hands and we're going to hold onto that leg underneath the thigh, on top of the shin, whatever's comfortable. And we're going to point and flex our toes a few times. Rotating the ankle. Try not to bunch your shoulders up to hold on to the leg. And you don't have to squeeze it in. It'll stay in pretty good by itself. Just a little bit of foot and ankle movement. Give it a nice squeeze in. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Let the foot relax. Let your right foot come down. Bring your hands to your belly. Take a breath in. Let it out. Bring your left knee into the chest. Gently hold on to that left leg. We're going to point and flex the toes a few times here. Rotate the ankles around. Let your shoulders relax. And let's take 3 nice full breaths here. Let your jaw soften. Go ahead and let that foot come on down. Bring the hands back to the belly. We're going to take an inhale and hold. Take a breath in. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. We're going to take our fingertips up toward the ceiling and rotate our wrist around a few times, both directions. Give the fingers a nice little wiggle as you rotate. Just go ahead and spin them around in different directions a few times. And then softly push down into your feet. Lift and bring your low back down toward the ground. So your low back is down on the ground. Stretch the arms over the head. Give yourself a nice stretch here. Take a deep breath in. Reach through your fingers. And then exhale. Point your fingers back up toward the ceiling. Take an inhale. Stretch your left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale. Bend the knee. Bring it down. Arms are still up. Inhale, right leg up toward the ceiling, stretch up. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it down. Inhale, stretch the arms back over the head. Low back is on the ground, feet are flat on the ground. Stretch through your fingers. Feel that stretch underneath your armpits. And now see if you can stretch just a little more with your left fingers. And then just a little more with your right fingers. And take a deep breath in. And then exhale, let the arms come back down to your sides. Bring the right knee into the chest. Stretch the right foot up toward the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knee. And bring the foot down. Inhale, left leg into the chest. Stretch the leg up. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring the foot down. One more to each side. Knee in, and we slowly straighten the leg best we can. Bend, foot down. Last one, knee in, lift, bend, foot down. If you have a strap, go ahead and grab your strap here. Bring your knee in, strap your leg. If you don't have a strap, go ahead and just take your foot up toward the ceiling, and you can hold on to your thigh with your hands, and this will work too. Again, you don't have to squeeze it super tight. We're just holding on to the leg. If you don't have a strap, just again, be gentle. Don't pull the leg in super close, because we're going to move it back and forth. And if you have the strap, we're going to do a couple of these. And I want you to take 5 breaths here. So as you breathe in and out, go ahead and move your leg back and forth. If you happen to move with your breath, that's great. If moving with your breath is not, happening right this second, that's fine. If you're moving a little faster, that's okay. But just a few nice back and forths. Deep, steady breaths. Remember, you can use a necktie. You can use anything as a strap. It doesn't have to be an actual yoga strap. You can use a scarf. Anything that you have. It ideally doesn't have too much stretch to it, so that you have a little more support. So that should have been about 5 breaths. Let that leg come back up. And now we're going to go ahead and let the leg bend. Bring your left foot, put your left foot into the strap. Let your right foot come down. Left foot goes up to the sky. And again, if it's not strapped, if you don't have a strap, same thing. You just switch out your legs. And we're going to let the leg go back and forth a few times. And I talked for a little bit the last time, so we'll do an extra breath or two here. Count those exhales. Give yourself a little more focus on that exhale, and it'll help the muscles to relax a little more. And we're going to go ahead, bring that knee back. We're going to bend that knee. We're going to put both our feet into the strap. If you don't have a strap, just bend your knees and bring them in toward your chest. With the strap, you're going to pull the knees in toward your chest just a little bit, giving your abdominals a little squeeze with your thighs. And then take your left foot out of the strap. Right leg is back in the strap. Foot up toward the ceiling. And we're going to do our side to sides here. So make sure you're comfortable. Your left knee is bent. Your left foot is on the ground. And now we take the leg from side to side. So let's just for a moment open the leg up to the right. So the right leg's going to open to the right as much as you'd like to comfortably. And now take a breath with the leg all the way to the right as far as you want to comfortably. Take a breath in and out. And then go ahead and bring the leg over so that the leg moves past the left knee and then open. So we're going to move back and forth. We're not going to take that right leg quite as far as we did that first time. It doesn't need to drop open quite that far here. This is more about the leg crossing the midline of the knee. And once again, come back to your breathing. Just make sure you are breathing. It's a very important part of the movement. And one more time, we're going to cross that ankle over the knee and we're going to hold here. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. That foot goes back up to the ceiling. Go ahead and let that knee bend a little bit. Stick your left foot into the strap. Right foot comes down. And my non-strap peeps, again, I'm quite sure you're modifying if you need to. Again, you can use your hands to move the leg back and forth. And if you need a little guidance, sometimes you don't even need your hands for this. We're gonna let that left leg open out to the left. And let's just take a deep breath in here. And let it out. And then bring that leg back up and we're gonna cross it over the right. And then back open again, not quite as far as we did that first time. And cross, come back to your breath here. Count your exhales for me. We're going to bring that leg across over to the right one more time. We're going to bring it over here and hold. Take a breath in. Hold at the top of the breath. 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and release. We're just going to bend that left knee. We're going to bring that left foot down to the ground. We're going to walk our feet out to the sides of our mat. The palms are going to turn up. Again, adjust. If your hips need to be adjusted, lift your hips up. Be aware of what you can do to make your body more comfortable in whatever position you're in. Notice if your arms and shoulders feel okay. If you need to adjust your neck or your head. And now we're going to let our knees go to each side. So both knees will go to the right. And our feet are as wide as our mat here, if we can get them that wide. And then bring them up. And again, to the breath here. Exhale the knees down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale them down. And up. Exhale to the left. And up. To the right. And up. Left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Lift. And lower. We come back to center. Let your knees come toward one another. You may need to walk your feet in just a little closer to one another. Lift the hips, reset your tailbone. Make sure that the low back and tailbone feel fairly flat. Soften your fingers, soften your shoulders. Take a moment, just feel the body resting here on the mat. Just notice how the legs and hips feel. Feel your breath move, feel the rise and fall of your chest. We take a moment here simply to observe the body. Let go of any tension. Relax. Allow the earth, the gentle pull of gravity to pull away any tension around the neck, shoulders, hips, wrists, hands. Allow the body to be relaxed and open so that you can release tension. You can let go of the unnecessary. Now that maybe you've let go and released a little bit, I would like for you, in the easiest possible way for you to do so, we're going to roll over onto our bellies. So if you let your legs straighten out a bit, roll over onto your side, but you guys can all, you know how to roll over. So roll over onto your belly. Make sure you still end up on your mat. And once you're over here on your belly, we're going to come all the way down, flat on our bellies. Our wrists, our hands are going to be underneath our shoulders. Excuse me. Pull your elbows in nice and close to your sides. Your feet are fairly close. We're going to look down at the mat. We're going to softly push our hips down into the mat. And maybe if you can, just maybe try to push just a little bit the space between your belly button and your pubic bone down to the mat. Your face is just a few inches from the mat. And we're going to lift and lower our chest. So while we do this, think about keeping like I said, your hands aren't going to move. Your fingers are spread wide. You're going to gently pull your elbows toward the bottom of your mat. Help keep the shoulders out of your ears. And then we're going to take an inhale and lift up our chest just a bit. Keep looking down at the mat while you do this. And then exhale, let your chest come back down to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest a little away from the mat. Exhale, come back down. Keep those hips pushed down. Keep that belly area kind of smushed down. Inhale, lift the heart. Again, you may not lift up super high, and that's okay. Exhale, come down. Just gently moving that low back space. 2 more. Breath in and lift. Exhale and lower. We're going to inhale and lift. Gently push into the palms. And exhale, come on back down. Go ahead and take your left hand or your forearm, whatever's more comfortable, and let your forehead rest down on your hand or your forearm. That's your left hand. And we're going to take our right arm and stretch our right arm out in front of us. Take your right fingertips to the floor in front of you and stretch that right arm. Take a breath in and out. One more. Your fingertips are on the ground, so your hands kind of up a little bit. Your fingertips are down toward the ground. And then bring that right hand back. And we're going to switch out the side. So now your right hand or your forearm comes underneath the forehead. Relax your back and your shoulders. Take a breath in and out. Take your left fingertips, stretch them straight out in front of you. So your fingertips are touching down to the mat. And you can go ahead and put them down on the floor and feel that nice stretch. Take a breath in. A little bit of a pulling sensation. And one more. Bring that hand back underneath your shoulders. Both hands come back underneath your shoulders, elbows close to your sides, and we're simply going to turn our head in each direction. So very softly turn your head to the left. Take a breath in. Let it out. The head is super close to the ground. Turn the head to the right. Take a breath in. Let it out. Turn the face, look back at the floor. You can turn your toes down and under here, and we're going to push into the floor. We're going to lift ourselves up away from the floor. If this is a little too much, just roll onto your side and come to a seat, or you can push the mat away, come up to your knees. If you came over to a seat, come back over onto your hands and knees. Wrist underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Take a peek. If your knees are touching, they're probably not underneath your hips. And we're going to do just a few cows and cats here. We're going to start with a cat. Tuck your chin, round through your back and your shoulders here. Bring your hips back toward your ankles. Give yourself a nice stretch. Inhale, bring your shoulders back over your wrist. Let your heart come down. Lift through your chest, lift through your tailbone. Breath in. Exhale, tuck and round through your back and your shoulders. Go ahead and pull the hips back toward your ankles. Stretch a little more. Inhale, shoulders back over the wrists. We're going to walk our hands up toward the top of the mat, and we're going to come into our down dog shape. If down dog's a little too much for you this morning, stay on hands and knees. You can meet us when we come to our forward fold. If not, if you're good in down dog, knees up, hips up, stretch back through the tailbone. Let's go ahead and walk the dog for a breath or two. So the heels are slightly lifted, and we bend the knees, and we move the heels gently toward the mat. We don't have to touch the mat with our heels if they don't want to touch. And you can always walk your feet just a little closer toward the hands or a little further away. Make sure you feel comfortable in this shape. Breath in and out. Use the whole perimeter of your hands here as you stretch through the legs and the feet and the ankles. And now from here, we're going to lift up both the heels super high. Bend your knees. Look up towards your hands, and we're going to step our feet toward the heads. We're going to bring our hands back up to our thighs. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let yourself gently fold. Inhale, reach up, be tall. Exhale down to your heart. Knees are soft. Give them a little bounce. Release the hands to mountain. Let's roll the shoulders back and down. So a few nice rolls here. And then roll them forward just a few times. Find your feet, softly push down into the feet. Inhale, sweep up the arms. Fingers can wiggle here a little bit, couple wide hand wrist circles both directions. And then from here, we're going to take our right arm and we're going to cross it over to the left. We're going to take the left arm and cross it over to the right. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, right to the left. Inhale, stretch up, left to the right. Sweep up. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale over. Sweep up. Right to the left. Stretch up. Left to the right. Reach up. Stay here with me. Cactus. Bring your elbows down like you want to touch them behind you. Bring your ears back over your shoulders. So make sure you're not doing this. Ears over the shoulders. Be tall here. When you inhale next, take the arms out. Letter T. Pull the palms back. Exhale, cactus again. like you're going to touch the elbows behind you, ears over your shoulders. Letter T, open up. Exhale, release. Roll the shoulders back a few times. And then roll them forward. Step your feet close together. Bend your knees, hands to the top of your thighs. We're going to rotate our knees around a few times. Nice soft knee rotations. Again, best you can. Sometimes knees are a little wonky. Let's help to keep the tendons in the sides of our knees soft. And then back around in the opposite direction just a few times. Take a deep breath in. And out. And then bring the knees back to center. Give the feet a little shake. Let them step back out to hip distance. We're going to rock a few times from the ball to the heel of the foot. Let yourself relax into your mountain. Lift through your heart. Lift through the top of your head. If you want to lift your heels here, you can. As we rock from the ball to the heel of the foot. Notice your breathing. Did it stop? Are you still breathing? That steady breath is really important. And then go ahead and land back down into the feet. Give the knees a little bounce. Make sure that you have room in front of you, more so probably than behind you, but make sure you have a little space. We're going to swing the legs. So gently push down into your right foot. And if you want to visualize your exhale moving down your leg, creating roots into your right foot so you feel super grounded. And then give that right knee a little bounce. We're going to take our left toes and we're going to bring them out in front of us. Lift through your heart, lift up tall through the top of your head. And then let your toes come off the ground. And we're going to swing the leg. The trick here is to keep the breath steady and to keep this right knee with a little bend in it. So the leg's just going to swing. Doesn't have to be a big swing. But we want to keep our heart and chest lifted. That's what's going to help keep this hip keep the foot from dragging on the floor. So lift up tall through the top part of you. This isn't just about the leg. This is about engaging the core, engaging our posture. Take a breath. Let it out. Drop that foot. Give the feet a little shake. Mountain. Take another breath here. Slowly, deeply. Let it out. Knees soft. We're going to take a breath in. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Release. Lean over to your left foot. Softly push into that left foot. You could breathe into your hip and exhale down through your foot, creating roots. Lift up through your heart space. Lift through the top of the head. Take the right toes out in front of you. Go ahead and lift the leg and let the foot swing. This left knee stays soft. Again, it can be a little tiny swing. It doesn't have to be a big swing. And now breathe. Notice and count your exhales. Yeah, if you're losing your balance, you're swinging a little too hard. Be a little more gentle with the swing. Just a little bit. Pretend there's like a little mouse on your foot or something that you're not scared of on your foot swinging back and forth. And then let the foot come down. Give the knees a little bounce. Inhale, sweep up to your heart, to a mountain. Let all the air out of your lungs, blow it out, go. We inhale, hold. 3, 2, 1, release. Soften the knees, lean over to the right foot, left toes kick out, swing that left leg. Breath in. and out, in, out. Keep the heart lifted, keep the top of the head lifted. And then let the foot come down, bounce the knees. Take a breath in and hold. And release. Lean over to the left foot, kick the right toes out. Lift through your heart, lift through the top of your head, ears over your shoulders. Go ahead and let the legs swing. Breathe in and out. We're releasing the hip. In and out. Let the foot come down. Give the knees a little bounce. Take a deep breath in. We're going to sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep them up to your heart, to a mountain. Take a breath in and hold. And release. Give the feet a nice little shake. Take your feet out a little wider here. We're going to go ahead and do some twists. Again, loosening and softening everything else up. So just go ahead and start letting that twist happen. If it feels okay, the legs should feel fairly loose, the lips should feel fairly loose here. When you twist to one side, lift the opposite heel. So now we're getting everything from the ankle, the knee, the hips, all the way up into the torso, the back, the shoulders. Keep the heart lifted. Notice if your ears are still over your shoulders. Again, we all tend to tuck the head forward because we lead with our head. Think about leading with your heart. Think about the head being back over the shoulders and the heart being the thing that's in front of you. And now notice your breathing again. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, and out. I'm going to go ahead and let all that slow down. Come to a nice standstill. Give the feet a little shake. One more nice stretch for the back, the hips. So if you're not turned long ways on your mat, so that your toes are facing the long side of your mat, and then we're going to bring the feet out nice and wide, comfortably wide. Toes point out toward the corners of the mat. And then we're just going to softly bend into the knees. And notice when you bend your knee, is it pointing toward your toes? If your knee is not pointing toward your toes, turn your feet so that your knee points towards your toes. And that should let you know that your feet are wide enough in this stance that your knees can comfortably bend. And if you feel like your knee's going way past your toe, then you need to widen out your legs just a hair more. Again, stay within your framework of comfort, but this is what's safest for your knees, for them to be pointing toward the toes. So ideally, we try to move toward that. And just a few times back and forth again. This should be nice stretching and opening for the knees. Again, not too far. The bends don't have to be super deep at all. You decide how deep you like that bend. And then we're going to come back to center. Let's take a deep breath in. Let's be a star. Raise up the arms, pull back the chest, open up the heart. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and let our hands rest down on our thighs. And we're going to come into a twist here. We're going to bring our right shoulder over toward that left knee best we can. It doesn't have to be a super deep twist. And then inhale, lift back up. Push your feet gently into the mat. Left shoulder over toward the right. Inhale, come back up. One more time, right to the left. Take your time. And if it feels a great stretch, just you can stay and chill. And just kind of enjoy it. And then let your heart lift back up. And last one. And then come on all the way back up. Legs are straight here. We're going to turn all of our toes back toward the top of our mat, and we're going to step up. We're going to give the feet a nice little shake. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to reach up the arms. Exhale, sweep them back. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale to our heart in prayer. Thumbs to the chest. Take a deep breath here. Just notice how the legs and arms and shoulders feel. Bring the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hips over the heels. Be tall in your posture and just allow a few breaths to run through you right here. Maybe think of the affirmation, I am open. Inhale, reach out. Knees are soft. We're going to come back down to the ground. Let your hands find the mat. Step back to a down dog. If down dog does not work for you today, soften your knees. Stretch back your toe out. Drop your knees if down dog is not working for you today. If you're okay here in down dog, you're welcome to lift up each leg one time. Give yourself a nice stretch here with those legs. And then we're all going to drop down to our knees and come on over to a seat. However, a seat is comfortable for you. And if you have a blanket or a cushion, you're more than happy or welcome to sit down on your blanket, cushion, pillow, whatever you have. Let the heart space lift here. Let the shoulders be soft. And we're going to go ahead and find a few nice torso circles. If anybody wants a little more core work today, instead of your hands being on your knees and doing the circles, walk your hands back on your thighs. And when you bring your hands a little further back on your thighs, you're going to make your torso and your core work a little more. If that's a little too much, you can bring your hands right back out to your knees and make the movement a little smoother, a little easier. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and switch direction of your circles. Come back to your breath. And then come on back to center. We're going to do a nice, easy twist. Left hand comes back behind, right hand to left knee. Go ahead and let yourself softly twist around. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and the ears are back over your shoulders. Try not to lean forward with your head. And then we're going to come back around. Shoulders are soft, heart is lifted. And let's twist to the other side. Left hand to the right knee, right hand comes behind. Lift through your heart, relax through your shoulders. And a nice gentle twist, belly button, chest, shoulders. And the last thing we try to turn is the head. And then come back around the center. And we're going to go ahead and lay back and down on our mats. If you have blocks, if you don't have them near you, don't worry about getting them. If you already lay down and they're not near you, do not worry about them. Come all the way back and down. It was just a suggestion. But if they're somewhere near you, you might have the opportunity to use them. Let your head lay down. Let your back come down. Take a moment here. Let yourself feel the back of your body resting on the mat. Take a inhale, hold, and exhale slowly. Do that 2 more times. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead, open the arms out to a nice letter T. Bring your feet a little closer to touch. I'm going to drop the knees over to the right-hand side, maybe turn the head to the left. Take a deep breath in. And let it out. Bring your knees back up to center. Readjust if you need to so your hips feel aligned onto the mat. Feet are close enough they could touch if they wanted to. And now knees drop over to the left and the head turns to the right. Nice, slow, full breaths. Bring the knees back to center. Walk the feet just a little bit apart. If it's comfortable for you here, you have options. So you can bring your hands to your belly. If you like how that feels, stay there. If you need a little more space, bring your arms over your head and let one palm sit inside of the other. You can walk your feet away from one another and let your knees come together to touch. Or you can walk your feet toward one another. Let your knees open up. And here's where your blocks would be useful. You could take your blocks and prop your knees up or underneath your thighs with your blocks so that you have a little support. So you decide if the feet are touching or if the knees are touching, if the hands are over the head or on the belly. And just allow the body to settle softly into the shape. And if you have a shape you would be more comfortable in, please go ahead and take that shape. Let your eyes close. Allow your awareness to be open to whatever sounds you can hear around you. Any noises you may hear. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Notice if you can hear your breath. Feel your body resting on the mat. As you exhale, allow everything to be soft. And for the next few moments, simply allow yourself to just be relaxed and heavy, calm. Invite your breath to deepen. Be open to the sensations in your body. Be open to the positive energy of your practice. If you'd like to roll onto your side and enjoy a few more breaths there. Stay connected to the rhythm of your breath. Stay connected to yourself. You feel a little more connected and comfortable. Find your way to a seat. Let your shoulders be soft. Bring our palms together. We are connected through our practice. We touch the light of our minds and our hearts, and we are grateful for our practice.